On this edition of Around BCC, the academic year is coming to a close and we highlight some of BCC's successful students. BCC students this fall will see an increase in fees, and BCC Athletics gets a new look and a new mascot. Welcome to Around BCC. I'm Keith Tebow. The 2014-2015 academic year wraps up this month with commencement slated for Saturday, May 30th. There's so much to celebrate this time of year. We thought we'd start the show by profiling 3 of the many successful students who will be receiving their diplomas. First up, we have an Attleboro student whose mission it is to give back to those in need.
Hello, my name is Orlando Torres. I'll be graduating this semester with a degree in General Studies Mass Transfer. I grew up in Attleboro, actually from New Bedford, but born and raised here. I come from a lower middle class background, so my mom, my dad, they didn't get a degree, they didn't even finish high school. So I thought that was really important to get my degree, my education. So my interests, I definitely like art. I like to draw, and also like to sing, dance, act, those type of things. Anything entertainment-wise I really enjoy. And I also enjoy just helping other people, teaching them certain skills and just making people feel welcomed and just enjoy their time. At first I wasn't sure whether or not I wanted to go to college because it's just me, my brother, and my mom that live together. So I wanted to get a job right away first to help support her. So I wasn't sure about that. And it took me a while to get back into school. I think it was about 8 years before I actually decided to go to college. I think I felt that it was time to, go on my own and do my own things. And I chose BCC because it was really close. Since I don't have a car, I don't have any transportation, so I walk everywhere I go. I walk to my other jobs as well. At first I started off with business management, and then along the way I wasn't really sure of where I wanted to go because I did enjoy a lot of things. I liked art and I liked writing, I liked biology, so I thought general studies would be a perfect fit just to see where I would want to fall as I progressed throughout college. During my time at BCC, I get involved in different activities. One of them is the LGBTS club, which I started. Since BCC in Fall River already had this club and Attleboro didn't, I felt there was a need to have one here. The LGBTS stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and straight. I thought we should add everyone in there to make it feel welcomed. So I'm president of that. I also do the student ambassador program. Marianne LaGuardia came to me. She saw that I had a good GPA, you'd be a great fit for this. And I was like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. I want to help represent the school in a good way. I'm a Commonwealth Honors student, and I had to take several classes that are honors. But before that, I took an intercession class in the fall of 2014, January 2015. It was Coping with Life and Death. And that class really showed me a new perspective on life, to live life to the fullest, to find a definitive purpose, which I didn't have at first. And with that, with my community leadership project, that's when I created the Crochet Everyday project, and it is to help other people, whether it be youth or adults, to learn how to crochet. It could be for therapeutic reasons, it can be for to sell the things that they create, or it could be for financial reasons. But whatever the case may be, I just wanted something where people can come together and create something that they didn't think that they could previously. After I finish the project, the film that I have to do for the class, I definitely want to continue to teach people how to crochet because I think it's really important. A lot of people want to learn and they don't know who to go to or where to go to, so I think this is a great outlet, great place to go to learn. Oh, I also volunteer here at the Y, but it's every 4th Friday of the month, and what I do is I come here, it's called Go Night, so I work with special needs, and we plan different activities that they can do, and we also plan kind of a dinner that's also healthy, so things just to get them out and just so they can enjoy their time and have fun. From here, I'm going to UMass Boston for international business, and with that, I want to create other businesses where I can help people in poverty. And with that, then I just want to make a difference in other people's lives. So I think in education is really important to, have high grades and have a high GPA, so that then I can have the proper knowledge to teach other people what I've learned. BCC has definitely been a learning experience. I definitely think I found my voice, because before school I didn't really have a voice. I was kind of quiet, kind of timid, kind of shy, really sheltered, kind of stayed at home, worked. But BCC really helped me open up and really find my voice, and really, they made me also feel welcome, so I felt my opinions were important. I felt that I had a reason, a purpose to do things. And I think that's really important. A lot of people nowadays, they're kind of lost, trying to figure out their way. But BCC really helped me, focus, and really helped me find who I am and what my purpose should be in life.
Our next student is originally from New Bedford, is a veteran, and has already started his own business while keeping an eye on making our local environment sustainable.
Hello, I'm Scott Peets, and I'm graduating this semester with a degree in sustainable agriculture. I grew up in New Bedford, Mass. Some of my interests is fishing and some outdoor stuff. My uncle had a small farm in Acushnet, so I used to go there all the time as a child. My goal was to be a photographer, so I didn't have means of getting a loan, so my plan was to work, gain some credit, and then get a loan to go to photography college, which I did do in 2004. And then I joined the National Guard. And when I came home from basic training from the National Guard, I decided that I think going back to school and furthering my education. And my original goal when I came back was to go into computer information systems. Because I already had a photography background, I joined Prevailing Winds, a club that's on campus. It's an art and literary journal. So I was very involved with that, and I was going to all the meetings, and there was a club fair. And I was sitting at the table for Prevailing Winds, and across from us was Seeds of Sustainability, which is the club that I'm president of now. And they had a beehive there and stuff like that. So I started talking to the members and the people sitting there, and that sparked my interest. A week later, I had my own bees, and I just wanted to learn everything to do with food and where it came from, how it was grown, and the whole food system and stuff like that. So I just knew that, I need to make that change. My interest started to grow, I think, because I was naive. You want to trust that everybody has the best interest for you, and you buy stuff from the grocery store, and you do all this stuff, and then when I started actually looking into it and looking at watching documentaries and stuff like that, you start saying, like, wait a second, like, that doesn't add up to me. It doesn't add up to a healthy future. Switching over to the Sustainable Ag program, I wasn't really sure that I wanted to start a farm yet. But I got deployed to Afghanistan with the National Guard, and it was there that I made the actual choice, because I knew when I came home with money that I might have saved that I wanted to start a business. And so I had some other business ideas unrelated to agriculture, and I read a lot of books over there and watched some documentaries on my computer when I had free time. And one day it just hit me. I was like, I want to farm. That's my calling, you know what I mean? That's who I am. So now I have this farm in Dartmouth. I want to have a whole stacking system. So my model of farming uses biomimicry and a stacking rotational grazing methods. So the more animals you have, the more of a better system that you can create. So we started getting sheep and a couple goats for possible milk, and like I said, chickens and ducks. Last year we mainly sold eggs. This year we should have everything set. We'll be selling at 3 farmers markets, and we sell direct to consumer as well. And we'll be selling chicken, lamb, maybe duck, turkey. We'll have eggs. We have chicken and duck eggs. And we're going to also be doing some homemade jams and stuff like that. I think my BCC degree, it might not necessarily, I don't have to apply for a job, so it doesn't work that way, but the information and the knowledge that I've gained and learned is, it's almost invaluable. It's stuff that I'll be using here. It's stuff that I'll be, telling people in the future.
Our final profile is of a student with a learning disability who's striving to make it in the challenging medical field.
Hi, I'm Dean Melcher. I'm majoring in biotechnology, and I'm graduating this spring. I grew up actually in Tiverton, not far from here. After high school, I went to Elmira College in Elmira, New York. It was challenging and different. I kind of enjoyed it. I learned things, but I don't know, it just structure-wise wasn't for me. I actually lived in London for about a year. I enjoyed the culture, I enjoyed the politics. I self-taught myself yoga when I was over there. I pretty much went to the museums. I enjoyed the sights and seeing everything. I got a CNA license. I actually work as a CNA in New Bedford. And then I actually was planning to go back to college. After about 6 months, I was looking into applying. I wasn't sure about BCC or like CCR. I was looking into community colleges just to kind of dip my feet in the water again. I was originally going to be a general studies health science major when I first started. I just took 2 classes to kind of dip my feet in the water, and I kind of read and did pretty well on them. I got actually both A's in both of those courses. I've taken advantage of the Learning Disability Support Center. I use that for my academic complications because I have a learning disability and I've struggled with testing anxiety, and I'm dyslexic, so I'm not too well with spelling. Spelling is just not my strong suit. It has helped me, I think, as a social support network. I think I really noticed compared to the first college, I lacked actually a social support network. I enjoyed the professors I had. I enjoyed like the professors I had there, but they weren't as supportive toward things, and I think having a support network really helped me. And self-teaching myself, I actually take the time to make practice exams off of the teacher's PowerPoints or off of the notes or the textbook. I use that to make my own questions, and if I know the teacher's going to do multiple choice, I'll do multiple choice. If I know the teacher's going to do short answer, I'll do short answer to prepare. My next step is to go for a bachelor's at Stonehill College for neuroscience, and then I hope to go for my MD or PhD in neurochemistry or some area in neurology because I find the brain very fascinating. After that, I hope to either do meds in the morning, be like a doctor and prescribe meds, and research or teaching at night. I actually enjoy teaching. I've been an SI at BCC as well, so I've tutored for probably 2 years out of the 4 that I've been here. It's a good place to start because it's kind of dipping your feet in the water, getting used to how the structure of colleges, the structure of exams. Yeah, it's going to be harder when you go to other ones, but it's going to prepare you for the harder courses once you start slow and work your way up. And it's a good way to prepare to transfer.
We'll have more of Around BCC right after this.
This is Kids College.
It's the time of your life.
The activities are fun.
You make things and art.
And Legos is fun.
I can build stuff and use my imagination.
We've been cooking food.
I've done some photography.
And then we continue on to math.
A comic book class.
I played basketball, and we would go outside on our breaks in writing class.
And you do learn stuff while you do this stuff.
I was just amazed because I learned so much about robotics. I mean, like, we use like ultrasonic sensors.
I learned how to write my name in Chinese.
We got to like do really like fun things that I've never like done.
And you make a lot of new friends here.
If I could do this all year long instead of school.
Yeah, I always look forward to coming to BCC.
I think it doesn't waste your time on summer.
I loved it because everyone was just so friendly and so adapting.
If I didn't do Kids College this year, I would be bored out of my mind.
Welcome back. As students wrap up this academic year and prepare for the next, they'll do so facing an increase in fees. Beginning this fall, BCC students will be paying $8 more per credit in fees. The Board of Trustees reluctantly approved the increase last month after 3 straight years of no fee increases. Vice President of Administration Steve Kenyon says while the college has held fees steady, costs have risen over the last 3 years. He adds that the college is also tightening its belt to keep those cost increases under control.
We've had to, essentially go into a hiring freeze. We've still gone forward with 3 full-time faculty positions, which are very important. But we've essentially froze any new hires. We're very careful about the positions that we do replace. And, the focus has to be on student retention, enrollment, and keeping the students here that we do have. And whatever resources we need to contribute to those efforts, we'll continue to do. But other than that main area of focus, there's going to be very little extra spending.
Kenyon goes on to say it was important to make a determination on fees now, even though the college is unaware of how it will fare when the fiscal 2016 state budget is approved by the legislature.
We have a new administration at the state level, although his budget, the new governor's budget, was, I'd say, very reasonable. It was better than most of us thought. The House budget just came out yesterday, and there weren't any major changes to our appropriations, so now we wait and see the Senate, but then there's still the conference committee. It won't be until the end of May, but we need to make the decision now, partly because we need to give the financial aid office an opportunity to package financial aid for the students that are enrolling.
Under the new fee structure, students will be paying a total tuition and fee of $179 per credit beginning in September. The BCC athletics program was reinvigorated a few years ago and has become an extremely successful enterprise for the college. Even with all that success, the college felt the need to rebrand the program to bring it more notoriety. So now we say goodbye to the BCC Bees and say hello to the BCC Bayhawks. In the 7 years since BCC reinstituted athletics, the Bees mascot was never well received, thus the call to rebrand that program. An 18-month effort was undertaken to survey the entire college community on what athletics meant to BCC and how best to reflect the pride the college has in its teams. Patrick Stone, Associate Director for Marketing and Communications for the college, says that after all the research and options for a new name, Bayhawks proved to be the overwhelming choice.
It met all the criteria that we wanted to fit. It's something local. It's something that's a little more aggressive than a bee. It's something that's a little bit more collegiate. It's something you'd expect to see going to a college. Having a sharp logo to go along with it certainly didn't hurt.
BCC Athletic Director Derek Viveros added that his coaches and student athletes played a big role in launching the Bayhawks name.
What I'm really happy about is that the coaches and student athletes were part of the focus groups the whole way through. So the very beginning, where we didn't know what the name was going to be or the logo was going to be, they took part in those focus groups. And then when we had some of the logos narrowed down to 6 or 8, names narrowed down to 5 or 6, they played a big part in giving us feedback on what they liked. So that was a great part of this whole project, and the coaches and the student athletes played a big role in coming up with the name and logo.
Stone reiterates that the Bayhawks moniker will be marketed far beyond the athletic fields and courts.
From a student engagement standpoint, for students who are already here to students who might think about coming here, it's something people can rally under now. In the same way, if you went to a big university or anything like that, you'd become a Texas Longhorn, a Michigan State Spartan. Hopefully now, when students come here, they're coming to become Bristol Bayhawks.
The new logo and name will begin to make appearances on the team's uniforms and other gear beginning this fall. Speaking of athletics, the BCC co-ed tennis season has just wrapped up, and we were able to elicit team member David Cardoza to spend a few minutes interviewing new head coach Dave Raynone.
Welcome everyone. I'm David Cardoza with the Bristol Community College tennis team and FR Media on this beautiful this beautiful day on the beautiful campus of Bristol Community College here in Fall River, Massachusetts. Today I'm with first-year head coach of the Bristol Community College Bees tennis team, Coach Dave Ranoni. How you doing, Dave?
I'm doing great. Nice to see you.
How's it going, Coach? How you doing?
Very, very good.
What's some of the progress you think you've seen? What encouraged you so far?
What encouraged me, number one, was the spirit that we had. All the kids showing up. Some really bad weather. Even though we played indoors, it was tough even to get to the to Dartmouth indoor tennis. Yeah. And we had a lot of attendance. We had a few newbies that actually never played tennis before, like David.
Yeah.
Came out to learn the game. As we got outside, it was very difficult with the elements, as you well know. But people still kept coming.
Definitely, definitely. Now, this is your first year with BCC.
Yes.
How long have you been coaching tennis? And tell us a little bit about that, and a little bit about your, how you started, your love for the game.
Well, it's been well over 20 years now, and I started coaching, believe it or not, in Memphis, Tennessee, where I just graduated from the University of Memphis. Then I started to teach at Memphis Preparatory School down there for a few years, and we had a tennis team, really, really good one. Then when I came back north in the early 80s, I stayed away from the coaching part, and then got back into it with Pace High School.
Where do you see this whole program progressing as far as recruiting and getting more players to come up for the team, and obviously being able to compete year in and year out as a successful tennis program?
Well, I think we have a bright future. I think it just needs a little 10-11 care. We've got kids walking around campus watching the tennis go on, and they seem interested. There are plenty of kids that going to college from there, and some go to BCC. We could get a few of those, get them interested, and I think the future looks bright for us.
We'll have more right after this. The BCC Criminal Justice Program recently invited the college community to view the work that's involved in maintaining a local police canine unit.
Basically, today we invited the Fall River Police Department, Sergeant Jeff Richardson, who has done in the past for me canine demonstrations. What they did was they did an apprehension with somebody who as basically we would call, a suspect or a bad guy, who maybe would, it could go from maybe a murder suspect to somebody who broke into a house, and they apprehended the suspect. And also, the two dogs here today were firearms as far as detection dogs. So a dog would go to a scene and he could search out a gun. And like Sergeant Richardson was explaining today, it could be just a spent round to a gun that was never shot. So they do train on that. It's the reality of police work and what such a useful tool a police dog is. So like I said, I like to have them see the reality of it and kind of, as far as do some scenarios where it would be like real on the street if they were to choose that, because a lot of students are interested in canine because it's probably, to me, it's the most useful tool in police work because it saves lives.
This year's Earth Day was celebrated on campus with the engineering and STEM clubs spending some time going through the college's trash as part of an innovative recycling project.
So today, the STEM Club and the Engineering Club are both working with the Art Department on an Earth Day event. And the Earth Day event was to pull the trash from around campus that was all put in yesterday, Tuesday, bring it out here, and separate all the things that get thrown into the trash that are actually recyclables. And so we've been separating recycling, most of it plastic, but some paper, some cardboard, and we're actually washing it, cleaning it up, and then ultimately drying it, and we're going to give it to the art department, and the art department is going to then create a sculpture using all the recyclables, and our goal is to ultimately create kind of a photo documentary of everything to create awareness about how much we throw into the trash that really isn't trash.
The college's culinary arts department has long been a leader in educating the next generation of chefs. The college last month put its best face forward in hosting a regional cake show fundraiser.
So we are raising funds for the Skills USA students who represent BCC at the state and national level. What we're doing right now is all the money that we have raised for cake competitors and donations from tickets and vendors and such, we're actually giving to the children to go on for states and nationals. Skills USA is a partnership between the workforce and schools and students. We're trying to gain a better employee when we go out into the industry. So they work together, and it's kind of a competition that the kids go from state, national. They have a local that they just competed in, and then from there on, those students go on from there. And it goes from culinary baking, they can do first aid, public speaking, and that kind of departments. We have food trucks, we have vendors, we have live demonstrations happening all throughout the day. We have high school students, we have children 6 to 13, we have some of our own students as well as other colleges in the area and beginner, professional. So it's kind of open to the public and what you're interested in competing in.
We'd like to remind you again that the 2015 Bristol Community College commencement will take place Saturday, May 30th, beginning at 11 a.m. under the tent at the Fall River campus. We'll once again be televising the ceremony live on FRC TV, Channel 95 on the Fall River cable television system. Those of you not in Fall River can view the commencement live online on our FRC Media website, frmedia.org. Commencement is the ceremonial end of the academic year, but the college already has its eyes set on the new year, which begins July 1st. Beginning then, the college will launch a year-long series of events to commemorate BCC's 50th anniversary. It's expected to be a history-making year, and we look forward to sharing it with you, so please stay tuned. That's all for Around BCC this month and this year, as the show is now on hiatus until September. We leave you with more student celebrations as we look at the annual student juried art exhibition held this month at the Grimshaw Goodowitz Art Gallery in Fall River. I'm Keith Tebow. Have a great summer.